Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So you may have noticed my new living situation in last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I find it difficult to record videos there. That's why I've been coming to my office quite a bit. I have a roommate who's really sensitive to noise. And so I talked about this in my last video. It's not like I'm out there watching YouTube videos or recording YouTube. No, none of that. It's normal noises like getting up to use the bathroom. Sometimes I got, maybe it's a good idea that I live with him because I have a tendency to have some little accidents, like dropping a small item onto the floor, or accidentally kicking the table when I'm walking, those kind of noises. And he'll literally get up to complain about noises like that. And that's actually one lesson I learned how to deal with this past week, is to de-escalate somebody who has a petty complaint. But I learned quite a number of lessons when I first moved to the place. My first day moving there, I lost the email from Airbnb that detailed which bed I was sleeping on, and when I got into the door, I was upset that the guy who helped me check in was insisting on figuring everything out because I had two large suitcases, heavy, right? You guys know the kind of heavy stuff I carry around. And I really wanted to put them down somewhere, anywhere, before we sorted out which bed I'm going to sleep on. And so, but he was very firm at that. And it reminded me of how I need to be a little bit firm as well. Here at Phoenix College, I have too many students who I just had to reschedule a number of midterm exams, which is frustrating in my own way. But you know what? I really love all of my students. I think part of the reason I have a hard time being firm is that I don't have too much of a life outside of work. And so a lot of times I treat my students almost like how some of my colleagues might treat their family or their significant others. And that becomes a little bit of a problem in its own right sometimes. I mean, I don't do anything inappropriate. What I have a problem with is disconnecting from that and forgetting that these people are not my significant others. I have a hard time with that. And there was another lesson I learned. I learned that even though my roommate might have been upset about the noises and the fact that I cooked some fish the other day, they were very quick to forgive all that and not let it weigh heavily on them. I have a hard time with not easily forgiving people. Well, I was working at a tutoring center before I landed at right now, it's so far my dream job. I can't think of another job that I've had for 6 months and didn't have too many long-term complaints. Yeah, every day there's somebody who annoys me, like a student who wants to take an exam at a funny time. But I haven't had any chronic issues. So I like to say this is really my first dream job. But at the tutoring center, one day I had really hurt my hand badly. I had spilled molten bismuth and burned my hand, which is fine. I don't have to write a lot at the tutoring center where I was working at. Everything happened in an iPad, and I really didn't want to write anything. I don't know if I showed on camera at that one time. We had a little timesheet. It was like it was on paper of when we came in, when we left, and all the little notes like that. And my hand was very raw. That I didn't want to fill it out. I'm pretty good with remembering things like that. I thought after I recover a little bit, I'll fill it all out, and maybe I could even email the boss or something like that. But I finished the day, and it was a pretty long day actually, and I left without filling out the timesheet. And my boss said, "Oh, your time card." And I pretended not to hear him because my hands were just sore. And wouldn't you know it, my boss, who is 71 years old, he comes out to the car and literally puts himself in between the car door and the car to prevent me from leaving. my hands are sore. I had to walk back in there and fill out the time card, and I couldn't let it go, even to this day. I keep thinking about how nice it would be after he passes away, because I can't stand to hurt somebody who's alive, but after he passes away, to go to his funeral and pour molten bismuth all over his body. I keep coming up with that thought in my head for some reason. And so, of course, the roommate that I cook the fish with, he obviously doesn't think about how he could make my whole room smell like fish after I die, right? And I think he has a more joyous life because he doesn't let thoughts like that consume him. Or maybe thoughts of maybe when he goes to my funeral, how he can stomp his feet and drop stuff all over the floor and make a lot of noise, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.